is we're going to bring parity to the nuclear arms. We had way more nuclear weapons than Russia did. We were a superpower. Russia was an also-ran. They've never had as much. And it was being a superpower that kept peace in the world. Obama negotiated away. He said, we will disassemble ours. You can build more. We'll meet when we get in the middle somewhere. So we've been disassembling our nuclear arsenal, our missiles that carry the nuclear warheads, our rockets, our submarines. We've been dismantling while Russia builds. What kind of a negotiation is this? This is Obama trying to bring America down to a third world stance. He doesn't want America to be a supreme superpower. He wants us to be less admirable, less feared, less concerned with. And now we are. Russia has just surpassed us. Not only do they have more weapons than us now, but they're replacing theirs with a newer technology while ours haven't been upgraded since Obama took office. So we are now off the top of the chart on yet another list, thanks to Barack Hussein Obama. Folks, stay with us. We've got another set coming up, and this is going to be kind of special. So I think we can take the tempo down a little bit and talk about some good stuff. Hey, stick around. We'll be right back.
KCAA. Tom O'Halloran has a not-so-common core spelling lesson for the Obama administration. Ready? There is no K in America.
There's kids that can't pray in school, $100 tanks of gas. I can tell you right now, this country ain't supposed to be like that. No, that ain't my America. That ain't this country's roots. You wanna slam all on the Sam, but I ain't letting you. Yeah, I'm mad as hell, and you know I still bleed red, white, and blue. They ain't us, and that ain't my America. Oh no, that ain't my America. No, 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 no. That ain't my America.
Welcome back. The fastest hour in radio. This is the Tuesday night edition of Patriot-Radio-Show, and I am your host, Tom O'Halloran. Now, last week was Veterans Day, and while I took a minute and spoke my appreciation for the veterans, I'm a veteran myself, I really didn't have the forethought to plan and do a proper set on what it is to be a veteran. And it was after the show, I think the next day, the story broke that Salon Magazine had a column where a writer was commenting that we shouldn't hold veterans, we shouldn't hold the military up as heroes. Right. Well, my editor, Veronica Coffin, found a great article by Katie Yoder, posted up on TomO'Halloran.com this week. I want to take a minute and recognize one veteran. I'm speaking of one, but bear in mind that there were thousands and thousands of men that deserve as much respect and love. Grunt Padre was a nickname given to U.S. Chaplain Father Vincent Capodanno. He earned the name for his years of service to infantrymen in Vietnam. Capodanno died on the battlefield between a soldier and an enemy automatic weapon in his final act to aid, both physically and spiritually, the young men he served. Born in New York in 1929, he ministered to citizens in Taiwan and later Hong Kong after his ordination. A few years later, he requested a change to serve the military troops in Vietnam as a chaplain. he began his new task in 1966. Father Capodanno, according to the Archdiocese of Military Services, was more than a priest ministering within the horrific arena of war. Over the course of a year and a half in country, he became a constant companion to the Marines, living, eating, sleeping in the same conditions of the men. He established libraries, gathered and distributed gifts, and organized outreach programs for local villages. He spent hours reassuring weary and the disillusioned, consoling the grieving, hearing confessions, instructing converts, and distributing St. Christopher medals. Again, his dedication lasted to the very end. He was serving within the 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines on September 4th of 1967 when he encountered a North Vietnamese ambush, which became an intense battle. They were outnumbered 5-1 when they met 2,500 of the North Vietnamese army. Early in the day, he was shot through the right hand, which all but shattered his right hand. One corpsman patched him up and tried to medevac him, but Father C. did not decline, saying he had work to do. A few hours later, a mortar landed near him and left his right arm in shreds hanging from his side. Once again, patched up, and they tried to medevac him, and he said, "I still have work to do." There he was, moving slowly from wounded to dead to wounded, using his left arm to support his right arm as he gave absolution of last rites. When he suddenly spied a corpsman get knocked down by a burst of automatic weapon. The corpsman was shot in the leg and couldn't move, and understandably he panicked. Father C. ran out to him and positioned himself between the injured boy and the automatic weapon. Suddenly, the weapon opened, and this time riddled Father C. from the back of his head to the base of his spine. Capodanno was shot 27 times and died on a field. Veterans' testimonials on a site dedicated to Grunt Padre include, and there are several listed here. I'll read but a couple. Corporal William Cuffrey said, "I am not a Catholic, but this man of God meant more to me than I could ever have imagined. He inspired me in so many ways in my times of need while in the combat zone in Vietnam. I will never forget him. Ever." Lieutenant Colonel Basil Lubka. He never spared himself. His dedication to duty will stand as a hallmark of Navy chaplains everywhere. He exhibited those rare qualities of humanity, selflessness, and humility that are seldom achieved, even by chaplains. Corporal Ray Harton, on the priest finding him when wounded. As I closed my eyes, someone touched me. When I opened my eyes, he looked directly at me. It was Father Capodanno. Everything got still, no noise, no firing, no screaming. A peace came over to me that is unexplainable to this day. In a quiet, calm voice, he cupped the back of my head and said, "Stay quiet, Marine. You will be okay. Someone will be here to help you soon. God is with us all this day." Capodanno earned memorials and several medals for his service, including the Medal of Honor, the Bronze Star, and the Purple Heart. The Father Capodanno Guild, which includes Marines who served with the priest, was established to promote the cause for his canonization. And the Catholic Church opened a case for his sainthood in 2002, and in 2006 deemed him a servant of God in order to recognize, despite what the media say, a selfless hero. I read that, and I read it, and I read it today, and it was just something that I wanted to share with you. And Ronnie, thank you so very much for posting that. I felt bad after doing the show last week that I hadn't taken more time to recognize the veterans. A couple minutes left. Article came out today that stated that there are over 3,000 unaccompanied minors that have come up over the summer through the border. Unaccompanied. 3,000 minors that are in the Houston Independent School District. 3,000 illegal alien kids in one school district. And that's just the 3,000 from this summer. Honduras, Mexico, and El Salvador lead the list of 43 nations from around the globe with immigrant students enrolled in the high school or into the school district. The Texas taxpayers will be on the hook for an estimated $45 million in education costs for these unaccompanied minors. That number was based on an estimated 4,800 foreign minors that were reportedly set free in Texas this year. That number was based, according to the Texas Education Agency, they estimate the cost about $9,000 per student. And this is all because Obama wanted to open the borders to let as many people in the country as he could, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to take down a country. And Obama has done more to destroy America, to destroy the American way of life, than the Japanese did with Pearl Harbor, than the terrorists did on 9/11, than the KKK did, or than the Russians did during the Cold War. Nobody in the history of America has done as much to bring America to its knees. His latest project in the news is again Obamacare, with this guy coming out and stating the bill was written to deceive people. Obamacare has driven 25% of American doctors out of the program. The Kaiser Family Foundation lists 893,000 active professionals, physicians working in the U.S., but 214,524 were refusing to accept Obamacare insurance as their health providers. They're refusing to accept it because Obamacare cuts their provider's income by 40%. You do procedure A and you get paid $100 if you're charging the people. If you're charging through Medicare, you get paid $80. If you're doing it through Obamacare, you're going to get paid $60. They're also being forced to take on more patients, which means you can't give the quality of care. It's like a conveyor belt. When you're rushing them through like that, you just can't do the job. And low-income families can't afford Obamacare, so the doctors are having to eat the cost of everything. Obama is not quite done. We have to fight back more now than we ever did before. But that's all we have for tonight. Folks, please tune in tomorrow night, the same time, 7 p.m. Pacific time, for the Wednesday night edition of the Patriot Radio Show. Good night, America. God bless you and yours. This is Tom O'Halloran. I'm out.